this before. Well, darling, can't you see what you done to me? And I ain't gonna hide the way I feel no more. So let's roll all night. We gonna roll until the morning light. Hello. what so proudly wail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? O'er the land of the free and the home, and the home
Good evening and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. I'm Steve McMillan along with BJ Duvall and Mikey Neal Jr. We're at Nashville Super Speedway, 100 laps the distance. It's stage break on lap number 40, guys. Welcome.
Hello. As Steve mentioned, 100 laps, stage break, lap number 40. Coming into tonight in points, qualifying is getting underway. Peyton Hubbard, Wes Wiggin, Jonah Colbert, Barrett Morton, and Bobby Hall Jr. is your top 5 rolling into tonight. A couple of those drivers out a win yet this season. You know they're going to be looking for one here tonight, Steve.
Definitely. Mikey taking a little nap real quick.
Yep, just sleeping over here.
Sleeping.
I'll take a good nap before this race, but we're good here we're good here. We are at the good old Nashville Super Speedway. Fun track to race at. We're back on concrete, one of the 2 concrete tracks we go to every single year. So, excited to be here as we see Sean Kostritza out on the backstretch right now. This track tends to be very fun, very racy, so I'm excited for this one.
Definitely. It's also on the track. It's track number 31, Jonah Colbert from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And at number 31 with a handful of wins this season. And at number 31, Sean Kostritza goes second on the board. And look at the Brian Terry right now, third. Also the Speedway in truck number 23. From Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, it's Fernando Takahashi. Well, Mike, kind of describe this track to us and the people watching at home.
Yeah, absolutely. So the only other track that you can really kind of compare it to is Dover. And one thing that's very similar about Dover is that the tires wear here a ton. And depending on if the truck is a little bit tighter, a little bit looser, it really depends where you want to run on the track. So most likely kind of with the same setup here for everyone, the car is going to be a little bit more tight in the corners than usual, but it's also you have to slow down a lot, which what people don't realize is that down in the corners, you're almost getting like 120, 130 miles an hour, I believe, in these trucks. Back on the straightaways where you're pushing 160 to 170 entering the corners. So it's really hard on the corners, and I believe the track, the banking is only about 14 degrees, so it's not a massive banking compared to Dover where it pushes like 16 to 17. So there's a lot of pressure on that right front tire, and once the rubber builds on the track, that right front is going to be very crucial. And you're going to see a lot of guys, they're going to need to let off a little bit earlier, get into the corners so they get the rotation through center. And also entering turn 3, and we might see it tonight, is that the tunnel of the track, I believe, actually goes through turn 3, or at least there's a big bump in the middle of turn 3 if it's not the tunnel. And a lot of drivers will hit it and get tight and slide up to the outside. So we'll be watching that tonight. But other than that, I'm expecting some good hard racing. A lot of people are going to be right up against the yellow line. A lot of people are going to be running the middle line. There's many different lanes here. So we'll see what these drivers do tonight.
Definitely. As George Gibbs on the track in that number 55 truck, he said many weeks ago he was going to become our favorite. Right now, 8th quick as 9 drivers have timed in. Your top 5 looking like this: Jonah Colbert, Peyton Hubbard, Sean Kostritza, Alex Healy, and Wes Wiggin. Round out your top 5 here in qualifying. The Tweet Your Seat 100. And Mikey, if you was going to tweet your seat, Twitter, what would you do? Hashtag what?
Oh, I don't know if it could be good as tweet your seat. Maybe mine would have to be something about my hand being over the steering wheel so we can make BJ happy.
Hashtag Bluegrass, on Twitter. I don't know. We'll get something going here. Next driver on the track, number 17. It is Cody Anderson. Cody Anderson in that 17 truck. Also, Dustin Renstittle. He goes 3rd quick in that number 20 from Pikeville, Kentucky. In the Reed machine there. Daniel Worthington also on track.
And our top 2 guys of the seat, practically this entire second half of the season, has been Jonah Colbert and Peyton Hubbard. They're right now 1 and 2, putting in fast times of just under a 30-second lap. And Dustin Reinstedel has actually a pretty decent lap up there too, with a .046, and not too far behind him is Sean Kostritza. Sean Kostritza, we've seen him up front lately a lot. He's been able to run top 5 consistently, and if his time stays, he will be in the top 5 again starting this race. So a lot of the guys that we've really seen up here. And last week's winner, Alex Healy, right now positioned in 5th, and that actually will be taken by Cody Anderson, who just moved into 5th place. So he puts up a pretty good lap time.
Definitely. Daniel Worthington out there to 113 from Rome, Pennsylvania. There's Taylor Peacock making his way onto the racing surface in the 81 truck. Also, Jeremy Vaughn from Ocala, Oklahoma. And Barrett Morton in at number 9 from Louisville, Kentucky. And Lucas Lyons as he spins it coming off of pit road right there. Well, last week, Watkins Glen. Mikey, why don't you tell us how your night went at Watkins Glen? Oh, wait.
Yeah, my night was spent on vacation because I had won the previous week at Charlotte, so I decided to take a nice little vacation. AKA, I was out of town, so I did not get to race Watkins Glen, but I did get to watch it, and there were good races throughout all 3 series. And like we said here in the Truck Series, Alex Healy able to get the job done, got his first win since season 1, I believe. So congrats to him. And, these guys are not giving up. And, we're finally seeing a little bit of shakeup, especially at a different track. It wasn't all Jonah Colbert and Peyton Hubbard. We saw some other guys getting in the mix, and we saw Alex Healy end up winning the race. So we'll see if the same thing can happen here tonight. And a guy that could do that is Barrett Morton, who moves up into 2nd. We've seen how fast he has been, hot lapping and, getting himself up front. He can get the right position, but tonight, he's had a few mistakes that have kind of cost him some positions lately, especially at Lucas Oil where he hit the wall early, lost a lot of track position. Tonight, he's going to have to do the same thing, and he only ran a few thousandths of a second slower than Jonah Colbert, so that truck is bad fast tonight.
Definitely that number 9 machine. How about Sean Kaiser, that 24 machine right now out on the racing surface as he goes 3rd quick. Sean Kaiser, not too shabby. And how about my friend Bobby Hall Jr.?
Oh, that does not look good.
That doesn't. My friend barrel rolled it off the exit there.
And while we're looking at them, Sean Kaiser did move into 3rd place. As you said, Daniel Worthington moved up into 5th, and Tyler Evans up into 8th place. So a lot of guys moving up, putting in times now as there's less than 3 minutes left here in qualifying. We see Lucas Lyons out on the track. He's been very quick as of lately. Taylor Peacock's going to clock in P11. Here comes Lucas Lyons around turn 3. We see him up on the high side, maybe trying to generate momentum here for a second lap. and his time is going to clock in as 18th. So this lap will be his real lap now, as the drivers seem to want that second lap to be their main lap. And Bobby Hall Jr. back on track after flipping on the backstretch, looking to put in a good qualifying run here with just a little bit less than 2 minutes. And you see that truck is very squarely off the exit of turn 4.
It definitely is. As you look at the weather right now, qualifying track temperature 82 degrees, the air temperature 80. So not much difference there. Wind's blowing. And they're blowing at 7 miles an hour.
It does not slide around as much when the track temp is that low. Usually you hate once it gets up above 100 into the 120s, but 82 is going to be pretty comfortable for these guys, and I believe the sun is going down here, so these guys are going to have a pretty cool track tonight. Again, they're just going to have to manage that right front tire as Bobby Hall off of turn 4. Lucas Lyons clocks in with a 982 in P3, so Lucas Lyons is going to break his way into the top 5. Bobby Hall is going to clock 20th there, maybe waiting for that second lap to be his fast lap as Michael Cole makes his way onto the track.
Michael Cole here in that 67 machine, the Cole Racing Logitech. Who's that on his car and the number? Is that Superman?
I'm not sure.
Good question.
It's somebody. Somebody coming out of the numbers.
I'm gonna cheat on mine.
Oh, look at Bobby Hall. Quick time in that number 94 machine with a 29.90.
Maybe he should have started with the backup car.
Bobby Hall clocks in almost 400ths quicker than anyone else. So big lap time there from Bobby Hall Jr. He's going to have track position, and track position is going to be very important tonight. As you want to be up front, it's going to be a little bit hard to pass because these cars are going to be so tight. So again, Bobby Hall is going to have to save that right front tire tonight if he wants to win this race, because we've seen how good Jonah Colbert, Barrett Morton, Lucas Lyons, Peyton Hubbard especially are at tire saving.
So, to answer the question, that is the minions on that number.
Oh.
He's got 3 minions right there on that number.
Oh, okay. You can tell I'm old and blind. It looked like Superman or something coming out of there.
Hey, I wasn't sure what it was neither.
Well, qualifying going to end, and Bobby Hall Jr. picks up the quick qualifying, or is your quick qualifier for tonight. And with that, here we go. And on the pole, in the 94 into Flex Motorsports, it's Bobby Hall Jr. to his outside JC Motorsports. Truck number 31, Jonah Colbert.
Line up to the inside of row number 2 from JC Motorsports. In the 9, it's going to be Barrett Morton. Line up to his outside in JC Motorsports, his teammate, the 25 of Lucas Lyons.
In the 24 machine tonight, starting P5 is going to be Sean Kaiser. And to his outside, Next Level Racing. NLR is going to be Peyton Hubbard in his 99 truck.
In row number 4 to the inside of Flex Motorsports 113, it's Daniel Worthington to his outside. Turn 1 Racing. Truck number 20, Dustin Renstadel.
In row number 5 to the inside from World of Thunder Esports, it is going to be the 46 of Sean Kostritza. Lined up to his outside. It's going to be... I didn't catch the name there fast enough. That is going to be the 81 of Taylor Peacock.
And starting row 6, representing Cornerstone Motorsports tonight, is going to be Tyler Evans in his 77 truck. To his outside, it's going to be Ed Osborne in his 42 machine.
And row number 7 to the left and to the right and to the left, it'd be Cody Anderson and WJM Motorsports truck number 17 to his outside. Last week's winner in the Flex Motorsports, YNH Motorsports, truck number 97, Alex Healy.
Run right to the inside from Flex Motorsports. It's the 88 of Wes Wiggin. Lined up to his right, it's going to be the Next Level Racing number 2 of Jeremy Vaughn.
And right behind them, starting 17th tonight, is going to be Fernando Takahashi in his 23 machine. To his outside, it's going to be Brian Terry in the 13 truck tonight.
And on your 10th row, on the inside, the 55 of George Gibbs, a rookie. To his outside, he yells out New York. In the 67 truck, it's Michael Cole.
Row number 11 to the inside, it's going to be the 8 of Cody Verrill. Lined up to his outside, he's one of the rookies of the series. It's the 80 of Drew Pearl.
And right behind him, Mr. Highside himself, Travis Twitty, is going to be rolling off in 23rd tonight. To his outside, Alan Duranco is going to be representing Flex Motorsports in his 4 machine tonight.
And in the final row, row number 13, it'd be Devin Scroggins, the rookie in car number 71. To his outside, Derek Puckett, the Texas boy, Boys into truck number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your starting grid for the Tweet Your Seat 100 here with the Bluegrass Truck Series. Hashtag Bluegrass? I don't know. What would you do? What would be your hashtag?
Hashtag Bluegrass.
Well, I like that. Pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Hashtag Bluegrass Iracing, Jason
There
says.
you go. Maybe a little bit of hashtag Butt Kicker and hashtag Kinder Performance Group in there as well. Can't forget about Scott Fritz as well. Got a lot of
Hashtag,
hashtags we can have.
or hashtag I love Steven. I mean,
Who's Steve?
hell kid. Well,
Jason has a good point. I think hashtag Bluegrass would probably get associated with bluegrass music a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hashtag Bluegrass Iracing.
iRacing.
Yeah.
well, it could be a good thing. I mean, maybe
It could
get more
be. You
followers.
throw a hashtag.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you throw a hashtag Bluegrass out there for people to go looking for bluegrass music, and then they end up finding.
My dad, he does that. You might find my dad on there. He has the same name as me too, so might get a little confused. It's not me.
All right, the Earl Shop Flex Motorsports, the half fast. It is Bobby Hall Jr. and Jonah Colbert on your front row. As lights are out, they're racked and stacked. We're fixing to let them loose for 40 laps for the first stage. Pace car looking to pull in, and I'm not too sure if it's Barney or Marty out there flagging tonight. We'll have to look when we come to the green flag. Green flag is out and we're off here. Good start. I believe that's Barney. He barely flashed by. It's not Marty tonight. I believe it's Barney. And how about that? Barney getting a 9 off last week.
It's nice to see him every once in a while get a break. He's probably got tendonitis in the shoulder or something. As hard as he waves that flag all the time.
Definitely. I mean, he might have went on vacation with Mikey.
Yeah, I didn't notice, but maybe as the lead.
Well, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, I think we lost Mikey there for a second, but battle for the lead is going to be won by Bobby Hall Jr. Jonah Colbert's going to fall in line as we complete lap number 1. The front 4 now single file out. Battle going on for 5th just a little bit there, but I believe that is on the outside. Peyton Hubbard, I think he's going to drop back. No, he does not. He does stay on the outside of Lucas Lyons or Sean Kaiser right there, now setting his eyes on Lucas Lyons on up ahead.
Well, as he just left us, he'll be back in a minute. But right now, 2 laps are in the books. Bobby Hall Jr. continues to lead here with Jonah Colbert in second. Barrett Morton, your top 3. A little further back in the field. I mean, they're kind of single filed all the way until round about 15th and 16th. They're double filed there trying to get some extra spots. As you see the 88 of Wes Wiggin and Cody Anderson battling. That's for 13th and 14th there. Then the 42 of Ed Osborne. Then Fernando Takahashi on the outside of the 42 to take over that 15th spot. As they're going pretty quick here.
Yeah, the laps are winding down very fast. Right about 30 seconds of the lap. So about every minute that passes, 2 laps have been completed. So we're about 2 laps into this race now. And just a moment ago, there was contact to the wall further back in the field. Everybody was able to save it and hang on to it. A couple drivers having connection issues. I think that might be some of the cause of it. You know, messing some of the drivers up, getting them out of the groove when they see somebody flash. It does happen a little bit. But right now, watching Bobby Hall Jr. and Jonah Colbert just continue to pull away from Barrett Morton little by little. Morton starting to pull away from Lucas Lyons. Gaps are starting to grow here already, just 5 laps in. Everybody's playing it smart, playing it safe. They're all taking it easy, Steve. Single filing it out, giving each other plenty of room, getting some laps in.
Definitely, as these drivers, as Mikey mentioned earlier, this track's a little harder on tires. As across the start-finish line, 5 laps in the books, 35 to go until we hit the stage break. It's Bobby Hall Jr. and Jonah Colbert. Colbert right there. He could pounce at any moment in that number 31 machine. We're Morton in.
was going to say, you mentioned the tires once again, and I'm sitting here looking at the lap times. We're already almost a half a second slower than what we were at the start of the race, laps number 1 and 2. We're already looking a little over half second now as the battle for the race lead. Jonah Colbert still right there at the door, Bobby Hall Jr., but as Mike mentioned once again, very multi-laned racetrack. Bobby Hall Jr. is able to hold on and fight on the outside. They're going to single file back out. Top 2 still sits Hall, Colbert, Morton, Alliance, and Hubbard will round out your top 5.
We're right down on 24. Sean Kaiser, Jaden Worthington just got the 7th place over Sean Kostritza. Kostritza in 8th. Tyler Evans running in 9th, and there's Dustin Rinstad running out your top 10. As we got pretty much right there's another battle. That's Fernando, Jeremy Vaughn right there. Fernando Takahashi clears Jeremy Vaughn for 16th as they head down the back straightaway. Fernando's now going to look to the outside, the 8 of Cody Vero. Vero on the low side there. He's going to clear Fernando momentarily, but look at the momentum that Fernando Takahashi has as he comes off the turn down the front straightaway here. Now he looks to the inside. He's going to put the 8 of Cody Vero to the outside there as they head into turn number 1. Meanwhile, back up front, your race leader is Bobby Hall Jr. still holding off that 31 of Jonah Colbert. So Colbert was able to get to the inside of him, but the momentum was on the 94 side, BJ.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times now. Cody Vero being one of the examples that we were just watching. That outside line, if you can make a stick up there, man, it's a lot slower through the corners, but it's so fast coming off. You can fight back through the turn to at least be able to stay side by side. You're going to be able to get it back on the outside. You're going to be able to push right back by. Look at that beautiful UDTV logo on the back of that 94 as he continues to lead this race. About to be 10 laps in on lap number 11. And Bobby Hall Jr. has been the man in control for the entire time so far.
Well, you look at the guy, he was the bridesmaid last Monday night at Watkins Glen. That's Peyton Hubbard, currently running in the top 5. He's up 1 spot since the start of the race. Sean Kaiser at 24. He's dropped back to 6 after starting in that 5th position. Daniel Worthington, he started 7th, currently running 7th. Sean Kostritza up 1 spot in the 8th position. With Tyler Evans up 2 spots in 9th. And then Dustin Rinstad, he's down 2 spots in that 10th position. Then you got Taylor Peacock there to 81 in 11th with Alex Healy in his hip pocket in that 97 truck, last week's winner, currently running in 12th. And then you got Wes Wiggin in at 88 in 13th. Cody Vero and Fernando Takahashi rounding out your top 15. But look at the pressure that 31 of Jonah Colbert is starting to put back on Bobby Hall Jr.
And Mikey Neal Jr. has returned to the booth. Mikey, what is your thoughts on how single file out this race is right now, knowing that it's as multi-groove as it is? Everybody's single file out for the most part, playing it safe, and having such a hard time completing passes. What's your take on that? What causes that?
Yeah, I had to go stop by the hot dog stand really quickly. I got a little bit hungry, but yeah. So here at Nashville, like I said, not a lot of banking, pretty tight corners, but whenever you get into the corner, you really just want to lift early and save that right front. So a lot of people early are going to get really tight, and that's why you're seeing them go single file. Because usually when the cars are a little bit looser, people make more mistakes. They'll slide up a little bit, and it allows a driver behind you to get underneath you. When the car is tight, really the only mistake that you see these guys make is that they will overdrive the corner a little bit. And early in the race, you're not going to see a lot of guys overdrive the corner completely. So as we see here, Bobby Hall Jr. is running that inside. Jonah Colbert doesn't really want to go anywhere else right now. He is literally just going to follow his tracks until Bobby Hall might run his tires off, or Bobby Hall might be doing that differently. He might be trying to save his tires until he pulls away from Jonah Colbert.
Well, either way, it's a good racing up front. I got kind of lost in that for a minute. I was looking at my cellular device, because someone sent me a text message and try to respond and read and understand everything going on. But there's Wes Wiggin to 88. There's Alex Healy. That's for 12th and 13th on the board. And let's look a little further back, because in the back pack, right there. Devin Scroggins, a rookie, running 26. Rowdy Pocket in 25th. But how about Drew Perot and George Gibbs? All rookies. All the rookies running in the back. So this track must be putting a hurting on these rookies to get to learn.
Yeah, and it definitely puts a lot on the tires. This is definitely a big learning track. Like I said, this track is very similar to Dover on tire wear. And if we look at even Brian Terry's right side, he's already smacked the wall once. Scroggins might have a little bit of left side damage there. So all these guys have been battling pretty hard. And no matter where you're at in the field, you still need to get forward. And that's what these guys are trying to do. That's why you see them side by side here. As this pack of 5 right now is racing very hard, trying to get, I believe that's the 21st position, 20th position. So, these guys, every position matters. And, you really want to gain it early. And then you want to save your tires afterwards. We're going to see kind of Scroggins go into the pits here, it looks like.
No, he's still out on the racing surface.
It's not Scroggins. Some of it might have been Jeremy Vaughn in his 2 machine might have went into the pits there.
Yep, Jeremy Vaughn making a pit stop here in that number 2 machine. And, talk about Travis Twitty. Right now, he's running a 20th spot. 26 drivers signed in and started. But, Travis is notorious being the back, but being up front towards the end in the top 10, top 5 position.
Yeah, and you always got to keep your car clean, and he's good at that.
He's definitely been showing himself out there this season, showing that he's got what it takes to be up there and be a race-winning car. You talk to him, he's still got quite a bit to learn. He'll tell you that. He's still got quite a bit to learn, quite a bit to go, but he is showing so much improvement race after race after race, and he knows he's got it figured out. He's really getting it down as to when to really push his vehicle, his truck, his car, whatever it may be, whatever he's racing that day, to really push his way forward and get a good finish right at the right time, it seems like. And see if we can do it again here tonight.
Yeah, and really quickly going back up to the front, that 94 machine is he's looking a little bit tight right now, as we've seen him get close to the wall off of turn 4 the last 2 times. Means that Jonah Colbert's putting the pressure on. Bobby Hall's trying to keep his foot down on the gas, but he's just getting a little bit too tight. As you see right there, pretty good run on 4, but Jonah Colbert is not going anywhere. He is staying within a car length the entire track. So Jonah Colbert might be a force to reckon with here, because he's right on that 94 machine, and if he can do that in dirty air, it's pretty impressive.
More pit stops happening. Lucas Lyons, Cody Verrill coming down pit road. Barrett Morton, he started at 3rd, currently still running 3rd. Peyton Hubbard up 2 spots currently in that 4th position. Last week's bridesmaid that was. And there is Sean Kaiser rounding out your top 5 in that number 99, all over Peyton Hubbard. And now in the top 6, he's up 3 spots, battling with Daniel Worthington. Is Sean Kostritza. Worthington now shown in that 7th spot. Tyler Evans in the 77 truck up 3 spots too, currently in 8th. So still now you see some passive drivers coming back onto the racing surface after making their pit stop, as Dustin Ristidle is now down pit road along with Derek Puckett. Right now we are going to complete lap number 20. Where's start finish line here? All right, 22 are in the books as we're on lap number 23.
Yeah, laps are winding down extremely fast. All green flag racing so far. Jonah Colbert, your race leader, but Bobby Hall Jr. does not look like he's done this. He's all over the back bumper of that 31. Look how much sooner Bobby Hall Jr. lets out for the corner than what Jonah Colbert does. Some of that could be, him not knowing exactly when Colbert's going to start backing down, jacking up for the turn. Some of that could just be different strategy, different entry based on the tire wear. You gotta drive the truck differently based on how your tires wore, in order to try to put a little bit of pressure on a different tire to try to balance it out and still maintain as much speed as possible.
Yeah, and I've been watching kind of the lines that Jonah Colbert and Bobby Hall have been running. Entering the corner, it looks like Jonah Colbert kind of lets off a tiny bit earlier and is able to turn into the corner earlier than Bobby Hall. As when you watch Bobby Hall, he goes a little bit higher into the corner and kind of dives it down to the bottom. As you can see right there going to turn 1. He does that every single time. And those are two different ways you could drive the track. Maybe going a little bit higher on entry allows you to let off and get down to the bottom a little bit quicker and roll through center better, or even just running the bottom like Jonah Colbert's doing, letting off a little bit earlier, keeping that right front a little bit cooler maybe than the 94. That's what's gotten Jonah Colbert out front. So he's been able to save that right front just a tiny bit better than Bobby Hall Jr. right now. And still sounds like a lot of drivers are coming into pit, so we should have a pit stop here soon, I'd be reckoning.
Well, Alex Healy coming down pit road, so is Alan Duranco and Cody Anderson and Fernando Takahashi. And Alex Robbins, Mr. Dirt Fault, not Mr. Asphalt, Mr. Dirt Fault. And if he screws up this weekend by not studying his notes, he's going to be Mr. At Fault.
Oh, well played, Steve. Well played.
He might be coming back to UDTV if he messes up this weekend. West Wigan now in pit road, now 88 Flex Motorsports. As we're on lap number 26 in the Bucks, on lap number 27, your race leader, Jonah Colbert, lead the field into turn number 3 there, as he's pulled away from the 94 Bobby Hall Jr. Gotta wonder, Bobby Hall used his tires a little too much there, trying to stay ahead. Actually, he comes down pit road. Bobby Hall does. So Jonah Colbert, Barrett Morton, Sean Kaiser rounds out your top 3 here. And to tweet your seat 100, hashtag Bluegrass Iracing Series. Or iRacing. Or
while we're,
Mikey Deal. Or I don't know.
I was going to say, while we're on the 24, Sean Kaiser's actually done a really good job tonight. He made a big pass on Peyton Hubbard. He's been able to kind of be up there the entire race. And I think Sean Kaiser might be someone to watch the rest of this race because he's one of the fastest trucks right now on the track.
He is. And let's do this. Barrett Morton. Let's look at. Let's see. There's Sean Kaiser. Let's see.
Peyton Hubbard about a 10th quicker than Sean Kaiser right there.
And there is with him and Morton. So Morton's been slower, except for that last lap.
And Kaiser is going to be pitting in this time by, as he just called it over the radio. And looking at Bobby Hall Jr., the trucks do go a lap down when they pit. So, these guys who are staying out a little bit longer, maybe kind of banking on a caution, maybe just banking to have a little bit fresher tires. These guys also may not have a set of tires to make it to the stage. So we'll look at lap times, but maybe they might be on the same tires they're on right now. I'm not sure how many tire sets they have, but 9-car Barrett Morton, who's our leader, he's going in with Sean Kaiser right behind him.
And look at this, going into turn. Well, that looked kind of weird, but he's slowing down. He's coming down pit road. Gonna be George Gibbs. There is the 30 watt of Jonah Colbert coming back onto the racing surface. And, I must say, I'm not sure if we're allowed to say this, but Brett Wheeler, no, I can't say it. I just can't do it. No. I'll text it.
Yeah. I'm not sure how the two things that I saw there work, but alrighty then. But right now, Jonah Colbert has worked his way back to the race lead after pit cycle. Everybody in the field has come down pit road now. George Gibbs on his way out. Michael Cole on his way in for the second time, it looks like. I wonder if he got a penalty his first time around coming down pit road. And we'll watch his times right here and see just what it looks like. He just hit his pit stall 9 seconds ago. Surprised to see him come back down. That's got to be for a penalty.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the pit times here. A lot of these guys only had 7 to 8 second stops, which means that they either took 2 tires or they took fuel only to make it to the stage break. So the only 2 guys up front, or at least in the top 10, were Dustin Reinstedel and Cody Verrill. They both look like they might have taken 4 tires and fuel, and they might try to be going for some more stage points here. But Jonah Colbert had a really, really good pit stop as that cycled him out almost 2 seconds in front of second place, who is Lucas Lyons. And Lucas Lyons on a little bit of a different strategy, pitted about 10 laps earlier than a lot of these guys, and that's what moved himself up to second. So he was trying to get track position as we see Barrett Morton making a move here on Bobby Hall Jr. The best time to make moves is on fresh tires. So we're going to see Barrett Morton try to take full advantage of that, but it's really hard to pass down there. You see him get tight, slide up against the 94, and now they're going to be side by side coming off the corner. 94 with the momentum, give it to Bobby Hall Jr.
And look at Junior going. He's now has Lucas Lyons in sight. Lucas Lyons right there towards the yellow line. But, Bobby Hall's been making good runs right there in the middle to hold his line or even to make passes at certain times. So I guess that might be, though, what wore his tires out a little earlier.
Definitely good possibility. When you don't have other drivers around you to gauge exactly just how hard you're pushing, it makes it difficult to save tires. It's one thing that I have learned, not that I've done it very often, but if you're out in the race lead, you don't get to see other drivers. You don't get to see how they're running. You don't get to see lines they're running, anything they're doing really to gauge how they're saving their tires or anything, or if they're saving their tires. It makes it very difficult to be a long-lasting driver up in the front on tires.
Well, looking a little further back in the field, there's the number 4 in the 15th spot. That is Alan Duranco in the 55, and lap down is George Gibbs. In 16th place is Ed Osborne. Cody Anderson in 17th. Drew Perot, a rookie, currently running in 18th in that 80 machine. Then you have Travis Twitty in 19th spot and Brian Terry rounding out your top 20. Let's go mid-pack right now. As you see, the 46 currently running in that 10th spot. That's Sean Kostritza. Right now running all by his lonesome. Then you got Tyler Evans battling with the 23. Our Fernando Takahashi there. Fernando a lap down as they're side by side.
And the 77 was one of those drivers that looks like they took 4 tires. So Tyler Evans on a little bit of a different strategy. But, the pits are closing here. And, the first car on 4 tires is Dustin Reinstedt, who's up there behind Bobby Hall Jr. right now, trying to pass Lucas Lyons. I'm not really sure what the strategy is going to be for these guys because, if you use a set of tires right here, I'm guessing the other drivers didn't use a set because they won't have a set. So I'm not sure if these guys are going to maybe stay out or what, but we definitely do have some pretty different strategies here. And there's not just one driver on it. There's about 4 or 5 in the field that took 4 tires and fuel there. So out of all this, though, Jonah Colbert has really been running away with this stage as he's up 3 seconds on the 9 machine of Barrett Morton.
Barrett Morton in that 2nd spot. You see him right there in that number 9 machine.
We got a wreck. I believe that's the 3 truck.
Caution out, this will be the stage. There's the 3 truck. It actually doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage right there. Taylor Peacock is actually claiming this one. Haven't seen the replay yet.
I don't think he was complaining or claiming it. That might have been a server issue because I was watching that live and both drivers really didn't make a lot of contact there.
Well, that is always a possibility, but he did say that is definitely on me. So here in just a moment, as soon as Steve finds it, I guess he's not finding it. Old school time then.
I don't even think Taylor actually was in the wreck, as we're going to see right here. Peyton Hubbard, who has been really, really quick tonight, is going to get a run on the 3 machine. And we're going to watch him go underneath them and watch right here going past the start-finish line as Peyton Hubbard has the run, get to the start-finish line. He's going to look underneath them. And see, they're not really close right here. And this is where the contact was made through iRacing, like right here. Right there, yeah. And that is what they call a server.
That's a connection contact.
Yeah. As we actually, it's actually really weird because Peyton Hubbard's car moves first, like there was like contact between them. So that's definitely unfortunate. And you see Tyler Evans, and there's Taylor Peacock, who was calling out the wreck right there, and no one near them.
I swear Peacock's name came across my screen and said, that is totally on me.
Taylor Peacock did come across and say there was a wreck. I don't know if he called it, though. But, yeah, that was really unfortunate between those guys.
All righty. Jonah Colbert first off pit road with Bobby Hall, Barrett Morton, Sean Kaiser, Dustin Ridstidle rounds out your top 5 as those two battle in the press box. Who said what? I can definitely tell you the top 5. How about that? Then you got Lucas Lyons, Taylor Peacock, Tyler Evans, Peyton Hubbard, and Sean Kostritza rounding out your top 10.
And Dustin Reinstedel, Tyler Evans, everyone who took three tires. Wow, 4 tires there. They ended up taking another 4 tires on this pit stop. So I'm not sure if Reinstedel's going to have an extra set or if he's going to have enough sets to make it all the way. But we'll see, as these guys look like they can go about 25 laps or so on tires. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this goes throughout the race, because they would definitely have to pit 2 more times if so.
Well, Jonah Colbert, your race leader in a 31. Jeremy Vaughn right there down at number 2. Looks like he's going to lights go out and he'll get a pass around that pace truck. In the next level designs, number 2. "42 laps in the books."
Be 41 in the books, on 42, about to be 42 in the books. That'd be, come on, brain. We'll have 58 laps to go on the hit stripe. Yes!
So I did get confirmation. The drivers have 4 sets of tires. So if you are Dustin Reinstedel or Tyler Evans, I believe, I don't remember who else took 4 tires. They've already used 2 sets of tires, which means they have the ones that they started with. They took another set, so they're not going to have another set going to the end. So that might be a rough strategy for those guys. Is once they get to the end of this race, or at least the last run, they're not going to have an extra set. It's going to be interesting. But Jonah Colbert still out front here at Nashville Superspeedway. Like we UDTV drone out there today.
Pace car, the lights are out on the pace car. Colbert and Hall side by side, setting to bring the field back to the green. They've swapped lanes, but having flashbacks of the start of this race with these two side by side. Let's see if Bobby Hall Jr. can make a stick on the outside and can give Jonah Colbert a run for the money here on this restart.
We got our 55-mile-an-hour drone out here. Must be an expensive one, but they're at the Geico restart zone, and Jonah Colbert's going to take off with help from Barrett Morton, as Barrett Morton's going to clear Bobby Hall for that second place spot. And here comes Sean Kaiser, make a move in the inside of turn 1 of Bobby Hall as Jonah Colbert stretched out with the lead. And Sean Kaiser and Bobby Hall are going to make some contact. Lucas Lyons is right there too, right behind him, just rounding out your top 5. Sean Kaiser, Bobby Hall into turn 3, side by side. Bobby Hall not going to give up the position. Sean Kaiser's going to get tight, slide up. Same with Bobby Hall. They're side by side exiting turn 4.
As they come out of turn number 4, 44 laps now. We'll be in the books as we're in lap number 95. Balance still going on. There's Dustin Rinstidle there in that 20 truck, currently running a 6. Taylor Peacock right behind him. In 81, Taylor Peacock going to look to the inside. Good battle for 6 and 7s going on as the 20 of Dustin Rinstidle has the momentum down the back straightaway. And now look at Evans. Now looks to the outside momentarily. Now he falls in line as they go into turn number 3. Peyton Hubbard at the 9th spot. Sean Kostritza rounding out your top 10. A little further back, got Wes Wiggin, Daniel Worthington, and Alex Healy all right there. And the 8 of Cody Verrill. Verrill in that 14th position as he gets a little top, pushes up a little bit there. in that number 8 machine. But meanwhile, up front, Jonah Colbert starting to pull away, and Barrett Morton's under attack by 94 of Bobby Hall Jr.
Yeah, and Bobby Hall's been very quick in this race, and he wanted to get back up to second very quickly. And this is where he needs to be careful, because Jonah Colbert has pulled up to a pretty significant lead right now, about 0.8 of a second. So, Bobby Hall's going to have to try to get to Jonah Colbert without overusing his stuff. So we'll see if he'll be able to do it, because last run, Jonah Colbert definitely seemed to be quicker once they hit around that lap 20 mark. So Jonah Colbert now up front with clean air, running a little bit slower than Bobby Hall right now, but Bobby Hall is on a charge to try to get Jonah Colbert before he can get away from him on those tires.
And you're talking about that back on lap number 46. Bobby Hall Jr. actually set the fastest lap of the race when he came back around to retake that second position. He's on a charge. He's ready to go, even though Jonah Colbert just now set a faster lap time that time around than Bobby Hall Jr., but over just 2 laps, they've already knocked off 0.2 of a second nearly on that set of tires. Things can go very bad very quickly. As hard as these guys are pushing, as fast as they're wearing their tires down, it's going to change the way these trucks are handling. Things can go bad extremely quickly, putting that much wear on their tires in just a couple of laps.
Well, we had a look. It's Marty on the flag stand tonight because Barney's still not here. I wonder if Mikey kind of left him in the vacation spot.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Battle going on. Alex Healy and Alan Duranco right there. Duranco on outside the number 4 as he battles Alex Healy for that 14th spot. They're side by side. So pretty much mid-pack, we got some good battles going on. There's the 42 of Ed Osborne. Haven't said much about tonight. There's Brian Terry battling with the 71 of Scroggins there.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what was on Alex Healy's truck there.
A lot.
I'm entirely sure. A lot. Definitely a lot. He's got a truck to his inside. It's going to be the 4 machine of Alan Duranco. But
the 80 of Drew Prohl.
I got no idea.
Who's on his inside right there. And Drew's had a pretty decent race, up 6 positions from where he started in 16th, looking to get inside the top 15. And we've got some movers tonight. Alan Duranco, the car right in front of Alex Healy in that Ford truck, up 10 positions tonight in 14th. Evan Scroggins, who started 25th tonight, is up in 19th. Wes Wiggin, who we saw at the beginning of the season absolutely on fire, had the first few races locked down, which was looking really good, was your points leader, I think, after 4 or 5 weeks. He has not had a great mid-season, and, I know Wes, he wants to do a little bit better than he's doing right now. He wants to go out there and, be a winner every single week, and, I think he just needs to get some momentum, and I think, trying to get a top 10 tonight would definitely, put him in the right direction. As right now, Peyton Hubbard and Taylor Peacock battle for that 9th position, as Peyton Hubbard has fallen back a little bit. I'm not sure if that incident got any damage on his car because he was inside the top 5 the entire first stage, so maybe a little bit of damage on that 99 machine slowing him up a little bit.
Definitely, it could be something. Sean Constrict's in that 8th spot now. He's up 1 spot since the start of the race, and we're just a little over halfway. Jonah Colbert is your race leader in that number 31 machine. And there is Bobby Hall Jr. Jr. going to try something. He got to try something different, try to reel him in. Or maybe just bank on a caution. Either or.
I think sit back and relax right now. Don't relax so much that Barrett Morton's going to get the run on you and be able to come make a pass on you. But I think sitting back and relax right now. Let Jonah Colbert wear his tires down. I think that's going to be the game plan here. Man, these guys only got right around 20 laps, either on their fuel or 20 laps that they're comfortable with on tires. That was right about the mark for stage number 1 that they came down right around halfway through, all the way up to, I believe, the last car pitted right about lap number 30. So 30 would put that as a marker for the long run, 20 for the short run. So I suspect we'll be seeing some pit stops here and around about 10 laps from these guys. But Bobby Hall Jr., yeah, Jonah Colbert has extended that lead a little bit, but Bobby Hall Jr. really hasn't let him run away from them all that much. About 4/100ths of a second difference that lap right there as they come across the stripe. So it's very, very minute amounts that Jonah Colbert has been utilizing to pull away from Bobby Hall Jr. up to that 1.2 second lead right now.
So really quickly, you talk about, this time, and you're in second place. You've got to let Jonah Colbert, use his stuff up. This year, Jonah Colbert's not really showed any weaknesses on the long run compared to his short run speed. He has a lot of short run speed, but he can also save tires very well. And, I hate drivers like that are fast and can save tires. It is really the worst thing to race against. And Jonah Colbert, I think, really puts a hurting on these guys because he could do both. And, after racing for a while, you have to master. It's almost an art. You just have to master it, because a lot of drivers, once you start, especially like in these truck series races and leagues, Peyton Hubbard hard into the wall. Really what you want to do is work on saving tires before you get fast. That's what I was always told when I first got into the race. And as we see Sean Kostritza going underneath Tyler Evans right here, this is your battle for 7th place. But when you can figure out how to be fast and save tires, it makes you I don't even know how to explain it. It just takes you to the next level. I remember back in my early days of racing, I figured out, that I don't know what it is. It's just the way that you drive a track, and if you try something different, figure it out, and you can replicate it at every single track like Jonah Colbert is, that's how you win races. And I remember one week where I got to race against a pro driver, and it changed my life on iRacing. I finally figured out how to do it, and progressively got better and better from there. Racing here at the Bluegrass Iracing series, I've learned a lot as well, especially how to race against other drivers. And that's what these guys are doing out here tonight, and this could be a great learning opportunity for a bunch of these guys. And Jonah Colbert, we've seen how fast he is. A lot of guys who aren't really in this series, all the time, like Drew Cole and Scroggins, who are all rookies. They come in here and learn a lot every single week, and this is a great track to learn how to save your tires and be fast at. And Jonah Colbert really is just giving these guys a lesson tonight. And we'll see if Bobby Hall Jr. can say something about it, because he was definitely a lot quicker last time by, so he might be able to make a run for the lead here sooner or later.
As we're on board of the 99 of Pete Hubbard, last week's bridesmaid at Watkins Glen, as he's trying to chase down Matt number 77 of Tyler Evans. Look around, Sean Kostritza following his tail take there as he come out turn down the back straightaway. You also see Taylor Peacock right behind him in West Wigan. So these drivers are pretty much. So BJ, that's what it says. What does that say on the hood?
Riot?
Right.
Right. It's the Riot truck.
From a distance, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest, and I would tell Alexis, it looks like a zebra. From a distance, that's what I keep thinking of every time I see that Riot number 97. I think of a zebra. And
then you see the red Riot or orange Riot, makes you think it has the mad cow disease or something.
Oh boy!
Yeah. I wonder if he knows that Riot's upside down on the hood.
Honestly, it might be upside down on the hood. I think it's upside down, sideways, and everywhere on that car. But look here from Jonah Colbert. Bobby Hall's definitely looking a lot smaller behind him right now. Bobby Hall is on a tear, maybe trying to make up some ground here before pit stops. I'm not sure, but that 94 truck is actually, made up almost 5/10 in the last 3 or 4 laps. So don't count him out, and don't even count the guy out behind him, Barrett Morton. Barrett Morton within a second and a half of the leader now as well. So these guys are starting to close in on Jonah Colbert. Not sure if Jonah Colbert used up his stuff a little bit too early. Maybe Bobby Hall Jr. just heard my whole little story a few minutes ago, but Jonah Colbert's going to the pits this time, I'll tell you that.
Well,
I called it.
You called it.
I said on lap 55, it'd be in about 10 laps. I feel special. I mathed.
Don't forget to tweet your seat, hashtag Bluegrass Iracing, iRacing Series. Anyway, tweet your seat. Show us where you're watching from at home. That'll make Jason giggle tonight. Have some laughs. Find out where his friends are watching from. That means a lot to him, all the viewers. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to like, hit the follow button. Know of your kids, go wake up your mommy. Get them to watch, hit the like, hit subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. As Barrett Morton coming down pit road now in that number 9 truck. So now your race leader is the 94 Bobby Hall Jr.
And right there going by the camera, Taylor Peacock's going to move up in front of Peyton Hubbard, another position for that 81 machine. Bobby Hall staying out a little bit of extra laps here. This may be beneficial to him as he might have a little bit fresher tires, on the longer run here. So maybe Bobby Hall playing a little bit different games. Taylor Peacock making his way past Tyler Evans now. So Taylor Peacock has really gone through like 3 or 4 drivers the past few laps, so he did a great job of saving his tires. He's even going to pass the 77 of Tyler Evans.
Now you got Peyton Hubbard and Sean Kostritza coming down pit road. And meanwhile, Bobby Hall Jr. out front. There's Sean Kaiser at 24. Lucas Lyons at a 25. Your top 3. Dustin Rinstidle and Taylor Peacock round out your top 5. There's Wes Wiggin at Flex Motorsports running in 7th right now. Having a good run, and so is Alan DeRocco up 16 spots in that 8th position, and Cody Verrill up 12 spots to start the race.
There's several big movers working their way forward right now. Bobby Hall Jr. back where he qualified in the race lead, but pit stops are still underway. Still waiting for him to come down for his. And I wish I'd have caught who that was. Just gone out there to get ready to come down. I believe it might have been the 97 of Alex Healy that called it his right there. And yes, it was Alex Healy now coming down pit road. Wes Wiggin out of 7th place. He's going to be coming down pit road this time. The 4 of Alan DeRonco. Drivers calling him out left and right now. Here's the 94 Bobby Hall Jr. just calls out his pit stop. He'll be coming down this time around.
Yeah, definitely a lot of interesting strategies as we're going to see. Jonah Colbert went in on lap 65, and man, Bobby Hall Jr. is going to come down here on lap 70. So he's going to have 5 lap pressure tires. So they'll have to pit one more time, which if they can make it 20-ish laps, they'll push around like lap 85 before they have to pit. Bobby Hall Jr. can make it around 90 now, or maybe even more than that. So I'm not really sure what the strategy is for these guys, but it's definitely going to be very interesting here on these next few stops because really, do they pit early? Do they pit later? Do they take 2 tires if they pit later? It's going to be all down to the drivers by the end of this race. So I'm kind of excited to see where this ends up.
Well, 30 to go, and these drivers just made it 30 laps on a set of tires and fuel. So this tells you something right here.
A lot of 30s.
A lot of 30s there. Try to break it, I guess, 30 laps to go. I mean, you got the others already pitted back on the track, so I mean.
So if you pit now, you're good till the end.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not sure if they can make it 35 laps or not because Jonah Colbert again pitted on lap 65. And at that point that is 36 laps 36 coming to 35 laps to go. So I'm not sure if Jonah Colbert's going to have to save or if he just wanted to get a gap out front or what. But, once everyone pits, Jonah Colbert's going to be out front with Barrett Morton about 2 seconds behind him. So let's see how this all folds out.
Well, you look, there's Jonah Colbert. He's currently running in that 10th spot. You got Sean Kaiser, Lucas Lyons, Taylor Peacock, Ed Osborne, Cody Anderson, and Devin Scroggins all down pit road. Travis Twitty right now coming across the start finish line. He will be scored as your leader now as they head into turn number 1. Perot right there. Then you have Jonah Colbert right there in 7th position. We got a slew of drivers in between 2nd and 7th.
Quite a few drivers throughout those gaps there, but Twitty and Perot, the last drivers yet to pit. Here comes Twitty and Perot right behind him, coming down pit road. Just going to cycle back around to Jonah Colbert. He's got good ways to go to do it as he now heads into turn number 3. He's following right along behind that number 67 of Michael Cole. put him another lap down. There is the pit stints. Looks like the longest a driver has gone is Gibraltar at 33 laps by the looks of it. I haven't seen anybody with a longer stint than that on their fuel and tires.
Well, you look, there's Barrett Morton in that second spot there, and there's Joda Colbert coming out on turn, and there's Barrett Morton in that number 9 machine looking to get around a 2 of Jeremy Vaughn, who's a lap down. There's quite a few lap drivers in between Colbert and Morton. Bobby Hall Jr. in the third spot right there. Guys, Fernando Takahashi currently running a 22nd, currently in front of him. And how about Sean Kostritza now in that fourth position of 5 spots, and Peyton Hubbard in 5th, battling with Sean Kaiser. Kaiser looks to the inside of that 99 of Peyton Hubbard. He will take over that 5th spot. Hubbard falls back to 6th. Lucas Lyons currently running in 7th. Wes Wiggin in 8th. 9th is Dustin Runstidle. And Alex Healy rounds out your top 10 here at the Tweet Your Seat 100. Hashtag Bluegrass Iracing Series. 25 laps to go for Joda Colbert.
Yeah, and I would say out of all this advantage, Bobby Hall Jr. Right now, he has about 5 lap fresher tires than Jonah Colbert. He's only about 3 seconds back of the leader, and he looks like he can make it to the end compared to Jonah Colbert and Barrett Morton, who, at least from looking at when everyone's pitting and looking at the time deltas, looks like they're going to be very close to making it on fuel. So we'll have to see if the 94 machine can make his way past Barrett and Jonah. Maybe see if he can make his way up there. But, other than that, it's going to be interesting. And Sean Kaiser is in 4th place. Oh.
And it was right.
Jeremy Vaughn.
Jeremy Vaughn was involved.
The first thing I hear after caution's out is, wasn't me.
For some reason, score pylon isn't flagging it, but it was him and Fernando Takahashi battling side by side. Giving each other some beating and banging down the back straightaway. They go into turn number 3, still not giving each other room.
Ooh. Yeah, I was watching them the previous lap, and Fernando got into the back of the 2 car, and he did not like it. These guys played a little bit of bumper cars, and it got a little rough there. Yeah. I can't really say much more than that. That's just how the game goes.
Joda Colbert, Barrett Morton, Bobby Hall all down pit road with Sean Kaiser, Sean Kostritza, Peyton Hubbard, and Lucas Lyons.
So I don't think these guys have any more sets of tires. Unless they do. Jonah Colbert is taking more tires right here. So maybe they have one more set, and they're going to use them right now. And, it looks like maybe a 2-tire stop there for the 31.
You got to remember, Jonah Colbert didn't take tires on the first pit stop halfway through stage 1. He took tires at the end of stage 1, and then he took tires on the last pit stop. So this right here would be his 3rd set coming out of the pits. So
well, there was also yeah, no, you're right. This should be their final set. They do have one more. You are correct. So these guys are going to come in and take their last few sets of tires, but it did look like Jonah Colbert only took 2. Same thing with Barrett Morton, while Bobby Hall Jr. went ahead and put 4 tires on that machine. So, again, really interesting. We're going to see if anyone stays out here. I believe Dustin Reinsettle, who took his set of tires at the stage break, is going to stay out, and he will assume the lead out of that. And you see him in the 20 machine right there. And Taylor Peacock is going to be right behind him. Tyler Evans, one of those drivers who was on that diverse strategy compared to everyone else, who took their tires on that caution before the stage to gain positions. So your top 8 drivers are all on a different strategy. And you see Brian Terry, the black and yellow car there in the back for the gap. He is the last car on the strategy. So Jonah Colbert, Barrett Morton, Peyton Hubbard, Bobby Hall Jr., they're going to have to get through all of those drivers to get the lead. And if I'm sitting up there in front, you really can't complain that much because, you have a lot of drivers guys have to go through. And it's not easy to pass. We've seen how hard it has been to pass all night. And we know how a lot of these drivers are, no give. We have Travis Twitty up there in 6th, and when was the last time you've ever seen him give a position up? These guys are going to be racing hard, and cautions breed cautions. I'm going to say it. Hopefully I don't jinx it, but I'm going to say it. We got to remember that. And I don't know the Larry Mack stats here, but we do know there are a lot of cautions once you bunch the field back up together and you put the cars on fresh tires in the back.
Definitely. We don't have a Larry Mack, but we have a Alex Mack.
Yeah, we do have an Alex Mack. He's our what would you call him? Stats guy? He's our stats guy over the World of Thunder side. But speaking of stats, just looking down through the pit times and pit stints here on my end, Dustin Reinsettle pitted on lap 21. He pitted on lap 21, lap 40, and lap 70. On lap 21, he took 4 tires with a 15.4 second pit stop. Lap 40, during a stage break, he took 4 tires, 14.7. Dustin Reinsettle on his last pit stop on lap number 70 took 4 tires once again, so he is out of tires. Taylor Peacock in that second position. Looks as though Taylor Peacock still has 1 set of tires in the bank he's hanging on to. You think maybe he's aiming for a late race caution to get a quick stint on the freshest tires possible?
All right, so I've got some Larry McNuggets for y'all. Looking at our last 5 oval races here in the Bluegrass Iracing Truck Series, our average last caution has been around lap 15. So we'll be reaching that in about 4 to 5 laps. So again, a little bit shorter track here than Kansas or Gateway, but it is similar to Nashville Fairgrounds and North Wilkesboro on size-wise. Actually, North Wilkesboro is much smaller, and Lucas Oil is too. But again, they're ovals. So we'll be looking for a caution in the last 4 laps. The next 4 laps, because that's where it's been with these truck drivers. But if they get past that, they might be able to get more single file, and the guys in the back might be able to get through. So looks like we're coming to the green this time by.
All right. Well, we'll come to the green. We'll get Alex Robinson to do our fact checker. Green flag is back in the air. Dustin Rinstidle to the race lead. And then look at Tyler Evans. He goes around Taylor Peacock. Peacock will fall to 3rd. Let's take a look right here. Jonah Colbert in that 6th position. Trying to make some moves early. You got to make them quick. Who wants him to stick, huh?
Absolutely.
Now Jonah Colbert battling with the 80. That's Drew Perot. Perot is inside. Colbert getting the outside and working.
Yeah, and Barrett Morton's right behind them too. So Barrett Morton had a good start. Peyton Hubbard, we saw, a little bit maybe slower, back in around 8th places. Look at Barrett Morton go 3 wide. As he's going to make a move here to the inside of Jonah Colbert and the 71, but not going to make it stick perfectly. But going back to Peyton Hubbard, he was back in the back of the top 10, the bottom part of the top 10, and he's made his way back up there to the 3rd car on fresh tires. Bobby Hall Jr. not able to make his way through the field as good as Jonah Colbert and Barrett Morton have. So see what's going to happen here. Really interesting, different strategy. A lot of guys on old tires, a lot of guys on new tires. And here goes Jonah Colbert making a move for Travis Twitty. And Travis Twitty, again, we said that he would be aggressive, and you're going to see him block Jonah Colbert there. And Barrett Morton trying to capitalize off that and not going to be able to do it. Jonah Colbert looking outside of Travis Twitty here off turn 4. And look to the bottom. Travis Twitty says, "No way, Jose," and he's going to block that as well.
Travis Twitty, we're about one of the few drivers I know can block all 4 lanes of racing surface to stay right there being aggressive. As now you look at Colbert now looking to the outside, pulls along the side of his door, down the back straightaway, into turn number 3. Let's look, you see the 29s try to battle back on the inside, side by side. Oh, the rear got a little loose on the 29, but she got a bobbled there. That allows the 31 to inch forward. And there might be something awry on that 29 truck.
Oh, God.
It's always a possibility when you hit that banking change like that. Sometimes it can, I've seen it several times, especially in the Cup cars, it can throw a suspension link somewhere, cause the truck to drive a little bit out of sorts. It could also just very easily throw you out of the groove, and he's lucky he didn't go around. He hit that apron. Looked like 31 just did it right there. You saw him wash up in a big hurry, but was able to hold it off of Ed Osborne. I could have gotten very bad. You see the pace change out of him, though. from that little bobble Barrett Morton right up to his back bumper, all over that 31.
So in pre-race, when I was asked about how the track drives, I kind of told y'all that I'm not sure if it's a tunnel or what, but there was a big bump in turn 3 and 4, right in the middle, and it's on the bottom lane. So when you see these guys run the middle, they hit that bump, and what it does is that it almost throws your car onto the apron. It's really odd. It either like bumps you up the track, or it kind of surprises you and you turn a little bit too much and get on the apron. And I think that's exactly what we saw. And, it's definitely a weird feeling, and it definitely loses you a lot of acceleration off the corner. And that's what we saw happen there to Jonah Colbert. And these guys right now are battling hard. And we've not even talked about Dustin Reinsettle, who right now has a second lead up in front. And he's hoping that these guys, keep battling back here, because as laps are winding down, coming to 11 to go this time by, he doesn't want those fresh tires to be right behind him. So he's doing a good job, though, holding out front as Jonah Colbert has made his way up to that third position.
Barrett Morton sitting in fourth. There's Bobby Hall Jr. getting around Tyler Evans there. For that fifth position, Evans, Osborne, Kaiser, Hubbard, and Luke and Travis Twitty round out your top 10 as Twitty is battling with Lucas Lyons. Lyons to the inside there.
Yeah, off of turn 2 really quickly, Lucas Lyons gave Travis a big shot. And he's going to turn him. He's going to turn. Oh, my. What a save by the 25 machine. Wow. And as I was about to say, I think this is about to heat up, because the 25 got in the back of the 29. The 29 ran him all the way down to the bottom of the track, down the back straightaway. And then he's going to hook him on the front straightaway. But what a save. And we're going to see if Lucas is not going to like it. And there it is.
Well, we saw that live and in person between Lucas Lyons and Travis Twitty. Lucas Lyons looks like he's going to alt F4 off the racing surface after that contact.
I think it was a big boot from the moderator.
that was definitely a big boot. I'm kind of speechless. I haven't seen retaliation quite that big in quite a long time.
But what's odd? The 29 seemed like he slowed up quite a bit, though, before that contact. Almost like, I dare you to hit me.
The 29 was on older tires. So he had started up front and had slowly kind of made his way back because he was on older tires. And what happened off a turn, I don't know if you get a replay of it, but a few laps before that happened, Lucas Lyons had kind of caught Travis, and he pushed him up the track. So we're going to go all the way back here. There's the incident itself. We're going to keep rewinding, keep the rewind going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, about right here. So this is good. You can go. So you're going to see Lucas Lyons. He's going to catch Travis right here. We've seen how aggressive Travis has been. You see him throw a block there, and that's him saying, you're not going below me. If you're going to go anywhere, you're going to go to the outside. So right here, you're going to see the 25, a little bit fresher tires, going to get the run. It's going to be all over Travis's bumper here. Going to look high, not going to let him have it. And you see they're battling in front of Travis, but not really much they could do in this instance. As you're going to see Lucas. I think this is where the initial contact is, right here. You're going to see 25 get in the back of Travis. Now, Travis does not like this, and you're going to see him run. Look at that gap between the wall and Travis. That's a lot. Travis is saying, you just hit me. I don't like that. So going into this corner right here, Travis really close to his door. And as a driver, you hate this. Lucas going to slide up a little bit, going to bump him, and Travis says, you know what, you're done. He's going to turn left right here and try to hook him, but they end up saving it. So right here, 25 is absolutely mad, and Travis on old tires can't really run away, but Lucas can catch him, and unfortunately, you hate to see this, but as Joey Logano would like to say, it's short track racing, and this is not really a short track. I would consider this intermediate, but it's an intermediate track with short track tempers, and we've seen that a little bit tonight, and that's exactly what it was.
Well, right now, I'm going to say Dustin Rinstill caught himself in a pickle.
Yeah, not the caution he wanted to see, as he had about a 2.5 to a 2 second gap over Jonah Colbert. And, he might have been able to sneak out with one here, but all this caution does is it reels that 31 right to his bumper, and he's going to start right behind him. So if you're Barrett Morton and Bobby Hall, which Bobby Hall is on 4 tires compared to Barrett Morton and Jonah Colbert, So that's going to be very helpful for him. That 20 is going to have to either block for his life or just kind of say, I want to finish top 5 and finish with that tonight. So if you're Jonah Colbert, Barrett Morton, they're loving this. And we've seen how fast they've been all night. Barrett Morton, Jonah Colbert, Bobby Hall Jr., they've been your top 3 drivers throughout the night. So we'll see what's going to happen here because I'm excited.
You're talking about Bobby Hall Jr. being the first car on 4 fresh tires. I think Bobby Hall is going to be the driver to beat in this one. You got Sean Kaiser will be lined up right behind him on this restart on 4 tires. But
Yeah.
the way that Bobby Hall Jr. has been running all night long, I think the 2 left sides to go along with his right sides is the way to go. He's worked his way up there. He's in that 8th spot. I don't think they've balanced out yet. I've been sitting here watching the times very, very closely. His lights are out on the pace car. I'm watching the times very closely. Bobby Hall Jr. is faster than Barrett Morton and Jonah Colbert coming to that caution right there. I think he's going to have the truck to beat to the end of this race.
Well, Larry McNuggets, if you're Rinstidle, what you going to do? Ryan Stidle.
If you're Dustin Reinstedel right here, you better just hold on and hope they don't get to your inside or your outside. I'd say if you're Dustin right here, you just have to keep them behind you any way you can, which means you need to get off the corner well. It doesn't really matter how your entry is. At least if you can get off the corner and keep these guys behind you. You can't let them peek underneath you. They can try to get outside of you, but these trucks are just a little bit too tight to really make a big run on the outside. So he just has to be very cautious here. But we've also seen drivers, if they pinch, they're able to get that middle line working. So with a little bit fresher tires there on that 31 machine, I would not be surprised to see the 31 be able to get past the 20. But, Dustin's a good driver, and I think he might be able to hold him off here if he can, keep him behind him. But it's going to be hard to hold off of Jonah Colbert, Bobby Hall Jr., and Barrett Morton.
Well, the pace car is it. We're coming to the Geico restart zone. Alex's favorite time of the night. We're back to racing with the Bluegrass Truck Series. A good start for that number 20, Dustin Rinstidle. Down to the bottom there as he does clear the 30 wide. Rinstidle goes to the middle lane on entrance of turn number 1 there. And here comes Colbert with a good run off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Rinstidle going to have to block if he's going to want to win this race.
And that was perfect right there. Like I said, you just got to run that bottom. But it's all about the exit speed. And you see that 20 with a little bit less grip. No exit speed compared to the 31. 31 is now all over him. Let's see if Jonah is going to look outside. Barrett Morton's going to look inside here. But Jonah's going to be able to get that outside to work. And the 20 is going to clear himself. But will he have the run? And that is tight between the 9 and 31. And look on the outside. Open up your eyes. It's Bobby Hall Jr. as he's on 4 tires on the outside of Jonah Colbert. Jonah Colbert on the inside now of the 20. And here goes Bobby Hall maybe make a 3 wide move here on the outside. That's not going to work. It's tight up there, man.
It's definitely tight. 94 into the wall. Jonah Colbert to the race lead. 4 laps to go. Rinstidle falling back. And now what do you do? We're thinking 3 wide. We're going to try it. Here we go. 3 wide out of turn number 2. Hall is the meat in between the buns right now.
Yeah, and Barrett Morton's going to be able to take over second place. Bobby Hall in third. And Dustin Rice-Settle is going to hold up that 94 machine. But here comes Sean Kaiser in his truck. He's looking really good, making his way back up inside the top 5. And Jonah Colbert is just pulling away with 3 laps to go.
Well, you look at there, Bobby Hall does clear the 20 of Dustin Rinstidle. There's Sean Kaiser and Tyler Evans to the outside. They got Peyton Hubbard, Sean Kostritza, and Alex Healy right now rounding out your top 10. And there is your race leader, Jonah Colbert, coming 2 laps to go here.
And Bobby Hall Jr. free of third place now. He has the solo third place. He is catching Jonah Colbert. Same thing with Barrett Morton. They are both catching Jonah Colbert. Almost a 10th quicker that last time. Barrett Morton, one of the fastest trucks on the track. But I'm not sure if he has enough time to really get there as they're coming to the white flag. But Barrett Morton, if he could put together a really good 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2, he might have a shot at catching him.
There's a battle going on for, let's see, that's for 6th, 7th, and 8th as white flags in the air for Jonah Colbert. As you see Barrett Morton right there trying to chase him in as they head into turn number 1. And coming out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, BJ, bring us home.
Colbert, Morton, Hall, your top three down the back straightaway. Hall's caught up to Barrett. Morton's going to take a look at the outside, but he's not going to do. He's going to follow in line now down to the inside.
Oh!
Jonah Colbert's going to be free and clear for the race lead. And here comes Sean Kaiser for third to the inside of Bobby Hall Jr.
Oh, they're
Contact straight,
wrecking.
Bobby Hall Jr. second.
Big
Kaiser's
wreck.
going to be third. Holy cow. And the whole
Massive
field
wreck.
wrecking everywhere throughout the field. It's going to be Colbert, Hall, Kaiser, Morton, Hubbard, Reinsettle, Peacock, Stritza, Evans, and Wiggin, your top 10. Holy cow. Bobby Hall Jr. was not going to settle for his third position there.
I'll take a look at your official results. Jonah Colbert comes home with the win. Bobby Hall Jr., Sean Kaiser, Barrett Morton, Peyton Hubbard rounds out your top 5. Then you got Dustin Rensettle, Taylor Peacock, and Sean Stritza round out your top 8 with Tyler Evans and Wes Wiggin with a top 10 here tonight.
And it's going to be Alex Healy, Drew Parole, Ed Osborne, Alan Duranko, Brian Terry, your top 15. Daniel Worthington, Cody Verrill, Devin Scroggins, Cody Anderson, and Travis Twitty rounding out your top 20.
And to round out your field, Fernando Takahashi is going to finish 21st. George Gibbs behind him. Michael Cole in 23rd. Lucas Lyons 24th. Jeremy Vaughn in 25th. And rounding out your field tonight is going to be Derek Puckett in 26th.
All right, we'll be right back after these commercials with your post-race interviews. All right, welcome back to Ultimate Dirt TV. And Mikey Neal caught up with your race winner.
Jonah Colbert, you got a copy?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, man, I don't know what's going on with you, but there's another win in the books tonight. You've really been on a roll lately, and you were able to pick up another win here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. So tell us about your race, man. How'd it go? We saw you mainly up front all night, maybe on a little bit different strategy than others. We saw you maybe take 2 tires there on that last stop. How'd that all work out for you tonight?
It was a little bit of an up and down race. I know probably couldn't tell it from the booth, but we had another iRacing pit glitch like we did at IRP. We came in during the stage break, took 4 tires and fuel, and it didn't take full fuel, even though it did it for 2 of our teammates. Actually, we had it set to full load, and it only put like 3 gallons in, so that's why we ended up going off sequence from everybody else. And then we got kind of lucky with one of those late cautions coming out, and we had already pitted for tires, but there was about 6-7 laps on everyone's tires at that point. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna come down and take right sides because it's super tight. Maybe we can get this thing to rotate in the center of the corner. And man, it ended up being the right call. It worked out. 4 tires probably would have been nice, but we just didn't have time to fall that far back in the field. Track position mattered too much, and that very last caution, if that hadn't come out, I think your winner would be Dustin. You'd be talking to him right now. But sometimes you got to be lucky, and chips just kind of fell our way. And so yeah.
Absolutely. And this is your 5th win of the season. You've won 3 out of the last 5 races. I think next week is Daytona. It's going to be the last race of the regular season. So this is really your last non-super speedway track before you go into the playoffs. What momentum does this help you carry into the playoffs?
It's good because it feels like we're really kind of feeling out other drivers now and seeing, how everybody drives. The fields have shrunk just a little bit, not too bad, but enough to where we're getting long green flag runs, and that's really where I like to race, is the long runs. I pride myself on saving tires, so it's a lot of momentum. I mean, if we get into the playoffs and we get runs like this, very few yellows, then it gives me better opportunity to be up front, with the tire saving game. So I said, bring it on.
All right. Go and thank your friends, teammates, sponsors, whatever else you want to thank. Go ahead. All yours.
Yeah, shout out to JC Motorsports, specifically Barrett Morton, because that was That was his second place finish there till he got dumped. So we'll have to go back and look at that. That's kind of a shitty way to earn the spot on the final corner, but it is what it is. Other than that, give a shout out to Barabbas Homeless Outreach. Check us out on Facebook, Barabbas Outreach. Other than that, that's it.
All right, that is the 31 machine, your winner tonight, Jonah Colbert. He was able to bring home the victory, so I believe Steve is caught up with our second place finisher tonight.
Well, Bobby, that come down to the last lap, last turn, last straightaway, last inch. Give it all.
Yes, I did. The aggressor is now activated.
Oh, let's see. I mean, I'll tell you what, that is a nice looking truck. I will tell you that. So it kind of maybe cringe seeing the scratch mark on it. You know what I mean?
I try to keep it clean, but you got Jonah's teammates blocking me and Brett putting me down on the yellow line on the back straightaway. And last lap, I had the run. I gave him a bumper. And I see it. I gave it maybe just a little too hard, but I try to, I gave him to the door to save him. And then I see, Mr. Sean catching me, and I'm like, shoot, didn't have enough time to block him at the line. But hey, teammates got to block. Oh, well.
Well, what I think they said we go to Daytona next week.
Yeah.
So it's wide open going to Daytona next week. Is the aggressor going to be still activated?
Yeah, I might have to get with old Keith, get a little paint scheme together. And who knows how many upperclassmen are going to come down and race to shaking things up. I know I'm going to race up probably if I can.
Well, this is the thing. So, last year Keith Hackney had a Tombstone truck. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's names on.
I had a number on her.
You did. I think you should come up with some kind of design and put other people's numbers on it.
Yeah, or maybe coffins.
Right.
We'll see. I don't want to be a Keith, but man, today was a good night. I mean, qualified good, practice good, race good. Didn't get taken out. But.
Definitely. Well, go ahead and thank those fine sponsors on that nice looking machine.
As always, Team Flex. We were doing a lot of pit strategy and figuring out what to do if the cautions came out, if these laps or this lap. And at the end, I happened to have 4 tires, but we were caught behind all them guys in front of us. So we had to re-strategize quick. Earl Shop, once again, going with the John Deere scheme, I guess you could say. UDTV. Seems like I put the logo on the truck, and it seems to plan out pretty good for me.
I've been trying to tell Mikey that for at least a season now.
Right? Well, maybe I'll talk to you afterwards and some racing from here rest of the season. But yeah, Jason for the admin and running and all these guys putting on a show for the fans and stands, and that's all I got, I guess.
All right, the Hell Kid. Or Hall Kid. I can't read, obviously. The number 94. Bobby Hall Jr. coming home in second place. Congratulations, sir. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, BJ's caught up with your third place finisher tonight, Sean Kaiser.
All right, I've caught up with Sean, the driver of the 24. Man, what a tight finish right there. I mean, you and Bobby Hall Jr. making contact, started to come for the block to keep you from getting there. You guys made contact. Tight finish. Tell us a little about your race to lead to that point.
It was more about just being consistent and conserving your tires. I mean, the toughest part of the day was when I took 4 on the second to last caution, and coming through that field was pretty intense, but was able to do a good job with it. But I mean, most of the day, other than that, you were pushing it pretty hard on that stint. But most of the day, it was just conserving tires and being consistent. I think I had decent speed. Probably, I think I had a top 3 car. I could definitely do something. I felt like I could do something with Barrett and or Bobby Hall, but Jonah definitely had the best speed here. But I think I had an opportunity there. I had 4 tires. I know my teammates Barrett and Jonah had taken 2 tires, and on that last restart, I kind of messed myself up and I drove it in too deep in turn 1 coming off of that restart. But all in all, was able to still come the third, and have a good day out of it.
Definitely worked out pretty good. And thank your sponsor, Shots. Everybody helped make it possible for you to get there.
Just the JC Motorsports teammates are really a big help. Jonah is an awesome, basically team coach. Giving us pointers, telling us the do's and do nots, and he definitely makes the team better. And we've been very consistent, very good. We're all our cars are capable of being up around that top 5 and clicking off wins week in and week out, which is a plus. And I feel like overall, like particularly with me, last few weeks I've become a lot more consistent, and a lot of that's due to team help and help from Jonah.
Congratulations again on your 3rd place finish.
Appreciate it.
Steve.
All right, the Tweet Your Seat 100 is now complete. Congratulations going to Jonah Cobra picking up the win. We'll be back here tomorrow night with Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, and the next week Daytona. Until then, we're going to say good night and God bless.